All right. On your Instagram, someone asked, do you prefer... Turn it down.
Sorry.
Jeez. Someone asked, do you prefer Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Ooh, I actually absolutely love Harry Potter. I prefer it way over Lord of the Rings.
Definitely not.
I'm so sorry?
Definitely not.
I bet you've never seen Lord of the Rings.
No, I have. I've never seen Harry Potter, but I know Lord of the
that's
Rings
why.
is so much better.
I just love Harry Potter though. Everything about it. I love the housing. Lord of the Rings, it's just like a classic. You know what though? A lot of people debate Lord of the Rings versus Star Wars. I would love to hear some comments on that.
That's pretty dumb.
Star Wars is
Two totally different genres.
Yeah. So is Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
No, they're both magical. Star Wars is just bullets.
What do you think? What?
Yeah.
Star Wars is not bullets.
And some ugly alien-looking robot.
No.
And a bunch of white.
R2D2?
No,
or
not
C-3PO?
that dude. No, I was talking about
C-3PO.
the bad
What did I
dude.
say?
Oh no, I'm talking about
Which one?
totally
Like
different.
the Sith Lord?
I don't know.
Like Darth
Maybe.
Maul? Ooh, that's my favorite.
Yikes.
Hey you guys, just so you guys know, I'm taking this Zane into his practice, but I also wanted to do a face mask, so that's why I look a little weird today.
It's called multitasking.
Multitasking.
She's pretty bad at it.
Actually, I'm really good at it.
She actually almost got into a crash.
Okay, you guys, I'm super excited to talk about this next question that I got, and that's only because it gives me an opportunity to talk about my dog, Atticus. Now, he's no longer my dog, and I will give you the update on that. But I'm going to first give you a backstory. So, about a year ago, early April, actually no, March, we, at the time my fiance Michael and I, we were looking at dogs because we wanted to add a dog to our family. And I was, when he was at work, and so I was just, also looking for dogs in between my work and everything, and I would send him, photos of, oh, well, what about this, what about this, what about this, and there's this one litter where it was, so Atticus is 3/4 Great Dane, 1/4 German Shepherd, and so there's this litter full of those, and one dog was just like this cow-colored, literally, black, white, brown, gray, splotches all over him. And I sent it to Michael, and Michael was just like, why not, I don't really like the others, but I really like the black and white one. And then that's what he responded to me, and so I responded to him, what? Like, why that one? Like, I don't know, I had this thing in my head that I really wanted when he grew up. If people looked at him, he would, they would instantly know what he is. I don't know why I thought that. That was foolish, I know. Anyway, so I decided, okay, well, Michael really liked him, and why not just go get him? And so we did not adopt the dog. I'm sorry, adopt, don't shop. But I'm also not against people buying their own dogs. It's, do whatever you want. But, so I put the deposit down on the dog, and we drove to Odessa early April, I think April 9th. And we were getting him at 5 weeks, which I know is way too early, but the lady who had him, she was dealing with her own, living situation and financial situation, and so we had no problem getting him earlier than we should have, and we took him home, and we just had a blast. He was a little bit of a difficult puppy, but he was just so sweet, and the people who've known me and know him, oh my gosh, I totally love him. He was my life. So fast forward to when Michael and I decided to actually officially part ways and, do our own thing and this and that. Well, I was really parting my way. I was moving away from Clovis. And so I told Michael early in the relationship, well, no matter what, I get Atticus. That was stupid thinking. And so when I actually officially was like, okay, well, I'm moving to Albuquerque, we agreed that he would keep Atticus for X amount of time. So while I moved here, in Albuquerque, I could kind of figure out my whole life situation, which I have yet to figure out, but that's not whatever. And so I came down here. I was here for like a solid month or so. I was still trying to figure out my life, this and that, and then when I reached out to Michael about something else pertaining to our relationship, he came back with, hey, I need you to get your dog, or I'm going to blah, 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 that blah, 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 blah. Is there anything I need to talk about? It's just a negative thing. And he gave me till the end of week to get Atticus. And at the time it was like Tuesday. And so I was internally freaking out, externally freaking out. I was just freaking out because I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that if I got Atticus, I had no stable place to stay. I had nothing. I literally had nothing where I could provide for my dog, the dog that I so loved. And so I was like, well, no matter what, I'm gonna go pick up Atticus, because you know what Michael was talking about was just not an option for me. And so I went and picked him up, and I really had to pray about it and think about it and talk to the people who were close to me to give me really good advice about it. And in the time that I was like internally freaking out, and I picked up Atticus on a Wednesday, I believe, and so he was with me, and we were struggling and we were just trying to figure it out together. I had a friend who apparently got in touch with other friends and stuff, and so I met this guy at this dog park. Yeah, you know where this is going. And I kind of just vetted him for quite a while about what this and that, and just everything about dogs. And he honestly was so perfect. I couldn't think of a better person to be able to hand my dog over, because my dog was and still is my life. I still constantly talk about him, and I do post pictures here and there, and I've kind of just been doing that on the down low, so people so I wouldn't really have to talk about it and this and that. But anyway, so I met him on like that Friday or something of that week, and I really wasn't sure yet. I was planning on keeping Atticus for a little bit, but I knew with my job coming up, that was another big factor. In other than the fact that I did not know what I was doing with my life, was also I was about to accept a job, or actually I already accepted the job of having to work 12 to 16 hours, and there was no way I was going to have time for him, and it wasn't fair to him. And even if I did hire somebody to come pick him up and walk him and this and that, it just was not fair to him. And so this this guy who I met was so perfect. I really had to think about it. I just knew it was kind of the right thing to do. So I called up my best friend Jenny, and I was like, hey, I really need your support today more than anything. And we went to the dog park, and the guy came over after work, and we talked, and I like sat there for 2 hours because I was like numb and didn't know what to feel. And it was just it was just so frustrating and sad, because I just felt like this is not, you don't get a dog without knowing that you can't fully take care of him. I've always believed that. I still believe that. But I also know deep down that even if you do get in a situation where you can't take care of him, and the best thing to do is give him up to a home that's perfect, do it. It's so much better. I mean, it's gonna hurt. Trust me, it's gonna hurt. And I spent a lot of nights crying. But that day I handed him over, and ever since then, he's been sending me photos of Atticus here and there. I didn't want contact with him because he's no longer my dog per se, but I did still want to see pictures and just make sure. And honestly, he's doing so amazing. I got pictures just last week about him, and I just can't, I would not be able to find a better person for that dog. That dog needed other dogs, and he's still so dear to my heart, and I'm so glad that I had him in my life for the time I did. So, and that's my answer for Atticus.